Hey guys, it's me, Hannah Louise, and welcome back to my channel. So today's video, I am going to be giving you 7 top tips in order to help you become more organized. So the first tip that I have to give you, the first tip that I highly recommend, this helps me to stay organized, and honestly, if I don't do this, then it kind of just like, it doesn't get me into the mindset, to be organized. You really have to be in that mindset to be organized in order to be organized. Anyways, so the first tip that I have to give you is to declutter regularly. Now, you may not think that this is very important, but trust me, it is. Because when you declutter regularly, you're getting rid of old stuff and you're really keeping the stuff that you need or you may want to keep. And it just helps you to really have a cleaner space. And this actually goes into number 2, which is to have a clean space. Having a clean room, for example, it may be hard to maintain, but when you're decluttering regularly, you're also keeping your room cleaner, and having a clean room really just helps, it helps me to feel more organized, and it really makes me, like, when I've cleaned my room, it makes me feel like I have done a good job today in that specific day, and that I have done a lot in that specific day. So that also helps me to have a more practical, and I can't think of the word productive, that is the word, a more productive, day when I have cleaned my room, decluttered, and really when I have a clean space, it just helps me to think clearly, especially when I'm doing my homework. If I just have like a clean space and I just have like my laptop to do it, everything is just like, it's just lovely, really. Keeping a clean space may not always be the easiest thing to do, but it really does help you to become more organized, and this is why. When you're more organized, when you keep a clean space, it is important, I can't emphasize this enough, it is very important to give things a home. What I mean by this is to know where things are. So as you can see, I have my desk here. This is my desk. I have my bin there. I know I always keep my bin by my desk. So basically, this is my desk. I always have my lamp. This is an example of giving things a home. I know where they are, and I know that they will always be here, essentially. I always know that my water will be here, but further away from my laptop in case it spills. I know that I will always have something motivational to keep me motivated. Yes, another example is I have an electronics drawer, so there's my Vaseline stuff. So I have my glasses which go in here. I have chargers, headphones, more chargers for different devices. I always know that they will be in here. That is an example of giving things a home, because I always know that they will always be in there, so I always know to come in there. Another example is this drawer. This drawer is basically where I keep all my writing stuff. I have my Bible, notebook, I have like a little teen devotional thing here. This is my to-do list. I have a journal to help me keep on top of things, of what I need to do to improve, and my goals, etc., and what I need to do and when I need to do it. So here I have a notepad. This just helps me to just write down anything that I need to remember, and also I have my pencil case which has like a mini pencil case which has my pencils. And yes, so I always know that this stuff will be in here, so I always know that I can come in here and that will be where they are. That is an example of giving things a home. Okay, so tip number 3 is don't procrastinate. If you don't know what procrastinating means, it means to get distracted. So in other words, don't get distracted. For me, this is probably the hardest thing that I struggle with. Well, one of the hardest things that I struggle with, because I'm a person who gets distracted very easily by anything and everything. So especially when you're doing like your homework or schoolwork, or if you're just working in general and you just all of a sudden you just get distracted, like if you're always procrastinating, you're never gonna get it done. So to be organized, it does mean you have to try to procrastinate less and less and less and less, and it's not as easy as it sounds, really. So tip number 4 is to keep on top of things. Keeping on top of things is really important. For example, schoolwork. If you have homework, if you have a whole load of homework, you need to keep on top of them, meaning do them each time. Like keeping on top of things, it gives you a lot more free time later on in your life. Tip number 5 also relates to keeping on top of things, which was tip number 4. Tip number 5 is to make schedules and deadlines. This is really important. Making schedules and deadlines does help a lot, because you know you have to do this by a certain date and you know that is the cutoff line. Making a schedule helps you to find some free time for yourself, and it helps you again to keep on top of things and to be organized, because if you know that you're going to do this on this certain day and it's going to take you this long with a couple of minutes exception, then you know that after that you can just relax because you've done what you needed to do. You know your priorities, you've done your priorities, and you have time for yourself because you scheduled it into your life. Tip number 6 is to have a routine. This is essential. Why? Because having a routine, it just makes you feel like you have a sense of control in your life. You know, things change a lot. You can't control when things change sometimes. But when you have a routine, like maybe like a morning routine, if you have a morning routine, you know when you're going to do stuff, what order you do it in when you wake up, it really does help you to get more organized. Tip number 7, the last tip, the most important tip I will be giving you in this video, is to write things down. I know it doesn't sound like wow, it doesn't sound like that is really important, but trust me, it helps you to be organized. It does help me to know what I need to do to get my priorities straight, and it helps me also to remember, because if you don't write things down, you're gonna forget. You're not gonna remember everything. If you have a whole amount of work that needs to be handed in a certain time, you need to create a schedule of when you're going to do it, but you can't create a schedule without writing it down, because if you just literally have been handed this work and you don't write it down, you don't remember to create a schedule of when to do this work, you're going to forget that you need to do it. Even if you have the best memory in the world, you're not going to remember every single thing that you need to do. Writing it down is so important, and it will help you to be more organized. So that is it for this video. I hope you have enjoyed my 7 top tips of how to be more organized, and I really do hope you use these tips because they will help you so much to be more organized. I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure you give it a big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more videos like this. Bye!